Okay, let's just get right into it. When you think of cave rescue diving, your mind probably goes to, those Hollywood scenes. Crystal clear water, powerful lights, very
High
dramatic.
stakes, yeah. Usually human error.
Right. But the account we're looking at today just shatters that image. This is a first-person story from a professional, and it throws you headfirst into the real thing. And the reality is, it's terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. Forget documentaries. This job is about forcing your body through cracks in the rock that are barely wide enough for you to breathe.
Your tank is scraping the ceiling, you're fighting this primal claustrophobia, and you're often dealing with the dead.
That's the baseline. That's the known risk. But this deep dive, the mission we're about to explore, it's about something else entirely. It's about an encounter with something that just breaks all the rules.
It's not a cave-in, not a simple equipment failure.
No, this is about an active, almost intentional threat, something that professional training just has no answer for.
And it all starts with a call. It came in late, around midnight.
A group of amateurs had gone missing. They were way out of their depth, about 30 miles out of town, in this remote limestone system that wasn't even fully mapped.
A place that already had a reputation. The locals said people had a habit of vanishing there.
Exactly. And the environment itself was already wrong. When the rescue team arrived, the rangers gave them this chilling piece of information. They said the cave was breathing.
Breathing. I mean, what does that even mean in a geological sense?
It's not something you can explain easily. They describe these weird, unpredictable currents inside the cave, strong enough to physically push and pull you, like a tide.
But there was no connecting river, no sea.
Nothing. A geological impossibility. The cave was generating its own currents, and that was before they even got in the water.
So right from the start, the environment is lying to you.
Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't unsettling enough, there was the distress call they'd received earlier. It was mostly static, muffled by rock and water.
Just noise and panic.
Mostly. But through all the chaos, the diver who wrote this account heard one clear, frantic command from the person trapped inside.
That was them.
The voice screamed, "Don't bring it back out with you."
Wow. Okay, not help us, not we're trapped, but a warning.
A warning that whatever was in there with them needed to stay in there. And with that, the team preps for descent. You have Commander Harris, the lead, former military, the steady hand.
The calm anger for the team.
Right. Then there was Leon, the junior diver. He was nervous, kept fiddling with his weight belt. A little tell. And of course, the diver telling us the story.
And their gear, it's their lifeline. Full face masks with radios are key here.
Absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Because when the silt kicks up, and it always does, visibility goes to zero, your eyes are useless. That radio is the only thing telling you you're not alone in that crushing blackness.
So Harris lays down the rules for a tight section they call the maze. He says, stay in the line, stay in your body.
That second part, stay in your body, that says so much. It's an instruction against the panic, against the feeling of your mind just wanting to leave your body when you're being squeezed by tons of rock, hundreds of feet deep.
An antidote to panic. But these rules, they're for known problems. For human failure.
Exactly. And the descent immediately presents a challenge that breaks even the strongest minds. The squeeze.
He describes the entrance as the world just collapsing on him. He had to turn sideways, pushing through a space that was, in his words, barely wide enough for my shoulders.
And then it happens. His fin gets caught. He's pinned. Utterly trapped.
He calls it the blind coffin. The only sound is his own ragged breathing, the sound of his air supply ticking down.
He manages to break free, but the movement kicks up a silt cloud. Instant, total blindness. A thick, choking brown fog that swallows his light.
So he's now blind, trapped, and trying not to hyperventilate, and it's in that exact moment of total sensory deprivation.
Yes.
Something touches him. He feels something smooth drag across his shoulders.
Not rock, not debris, something else.
And Leon, his teammate, was a good 30 feet behind him. It's impossible.
It's the first contact. The moment the mission changes from a rescue into something else entirely.
He finally gets through the squeeze and into a larger chamber. A moment of relief, you'd think.
You would. But what he sees on the walls is immediate evidence of a violent struggle.
Gouges.
Deep, long, curved gouges carved into the limestone. His brain tries to explain it as, erosion or something, but the marks were just too clean, too smooth.
And too deep. He says recreational divers, with their gear, could never make marks like that. It would take incredible force.
It suggests a controlled attack. Not the frantic, shallow scrapes of a panicked human. These were precise, almost surgical, like something was dragged, screaming, up the wall.
And then the sound starts.
A sound that cuts through the hiss of his own regulator. Sharp, deliberate.
Knock, knock,
Mock.
rhythmic, echoing. But the chilling part is where it's coming from. Not the walls around him, not his teammates. It was coming from beneath his feet, from the floor of the cave, as if something was signaling from deeper inside the rock.
And that's when they find him. The first of the missing amateurs.
He's jammed into a fissure, twisted. But it's the state of his gear that tells the story.
His neoprene suit, his helmet visor, they're covered in deep scratches. Again, far too deep to be self-inflicted. He says it looked like he'd been seized and dragged backward into the dark.
So this confirms it. It's not an accident, it's a predation event.
Yes. But the protocol is to search for survivors. They follow the guideline further, and it leads up a narrow shaft, up toward a possible air pocket.
He makes his way up, and the air in this little chamber, this bubble, is foul. It stinks of rot, of stagnant water.
But as he takes his mask off, he hears it.
Breathing.
Ragged, desperate breathing, and he sees a little cloud of fog form on the rock. Human breath.
The survivor. He's alive.
He is. He's wedged on a ledge, chalk white, shaking violently. His eyes are just wide with a kind of terror that's beyond panic.
And he's not relieved to see a rescuer.
Not at all. He looks right past him, terrified, and he whispers the same thing they heard on the radio. It followed us in.
And then he begs him, don't take me back out.
He would rather die of suffocation in that stinking hole than go back into the water.
The psychological trauma there is just, it's off the charts. But the diver has a job to do.
You don't leave a living person behind. He forces a spare mask onto the survivor and pulls him, fighting, back into the water.
And the moment they're submerged,
the threat is back. Instantly, the diver feels it. A long, smooth, rubbery brush across his side and his tank. It's circling them, catching them.
And then the entire cavern just explodes.
A huge surge of silt erupts from the floor like a giant hand just swiped the bottom. Visibility goes to absolute zero. A blind, brown chaos.
The survivor just loses it completely, clawing at his own face, screaming into his mask.
And in that swirling mess, the diver's light cuts through for just a fraction of a second.
What does he see?
He describes something. Slick and pale. The shape of a limb, but bending the wrong way. It was moving impossibly fast, circling them in the dark.
Oh my God.
He pushes forward, blind, dragging the panicked survivor, and he bumps into something on the guideline. It's Leon.
The junior diver.
He's dead. Freshly dead. And his suit is torn apart by the very same deep gouges. It's here. It's with them. Right now.
And the knocking sound comes back.
Louder now. Faster. Almost matching the rhythm of his own heart. The survivor's terror is just a primal scream, and then he's just gone.
What do you mean, gone?
He's violently snapped away from the diver's grip, just ripped out of his hands.
The diver lunges for him, but the silt clears for a moment, and he sees it.
He sees where the survivor was, and all that's left is a cloud of blood, thick, red, just hanging and rolling in the water. The man was just shredded.
And the creature?
He gets one final glimpse. A slick, pale mass that wheels away from the light and vanishes back into the absolute darkness of the cave.
The mission is over, but he still has to get out.
Yes. And this is the professional in him. He knows he can't just bolt for the surface or the bends will kill him. He has to do a slow, controlled ascent.
While hauling the remains of the survivor, knowing that thing is still down there circling.
It's an agonizing trip. And Commander Harris, the leader, he went in, but he never came out. Listed as MIA.
And what did the authorities do? They couldn't just ignore this.
Their response says everything. They didn't release a report about a pale, slick mass. But with the bodies, the gouges in the walls, they knew. The official decision was immediate.
They sealed the cave?
Prominently.
Yeah.
An extreme response. They declared the entire limestone system unrecoverable, too dangerous to ever enter again.
And the diver, the narrator of all this, he changed his own rules after that.
He did. He still does the job. But now if he's on a dive and he sees those specific, deep, clean gouges in the rock,
or hears that rhythmic knocking,
or feels a current that shouldn't be there, he doesn't push forward. He doesn't call for backup. He calls it in as a lost cause.
He retreats. He accepts that some places are not just dangerous, they're actively hostile.
This whole account, it forces you to think about risk. We can train for claustrophobia, for equipment failure. But how do you train for an anomaly that seems to have intention? A predator that operates outside of our understanding of biology or physics.
The things that stick with you are those gouges in the stone, that rhythmic knocking, and that final desperate warning. Don't bring it back out with you.
And it leaves you with a really unsettling thought to take away. If our planet's most remote, darkest corners can hide something that seems to operate with this kind of malevolent intelligence, Well, how much of our sense of safety is just based on ignorance? Ignorance of what thrives where the light simply can't reach.